up on UK Today. New hope for spinal injury patients as scientists discover how to encourage growth of injured nerves.
The world's largest plant flowers at the Royal Botanical Gardens in Kew, London.
Getting an insight into one of the latest UK trends, lowriders.
Exploring Liverpool's labyrinth of tunnels.
Taking cricket to inner city schools.
And we look at the growth in the use of Chinese medicine and its methods in the West. Liverpool, a busy modern city of 460,000 inhabitants in the northwest of England. But all is not what it seems to the naked eye. For over 150 years, it has harboured a dark secret. Legend talks of a terrifying creature, a kind of bogeyman that has scared children for generations, known as the Mad Mole. It lurks beneath its streets, in its hidden subterranean city. Now, for the first time, the gates to his underworld are being opened.
This is the site of the old corporation stable yard in Edge Hill in Liverpool. And this is the point where we have two large tunnels that were built in the 1800s, and we're opening this up as a heritage centre so that people will be able to go into the tunnels. The tunnels were built by a man called Joseph Williamson. He was a wealthy industrialist. He moved into the Edge Hill area in 1806, and from that point he seems to have started building tunnels on this site. This area down on Smithdown Lane was a quarry, and he employed men to quarry out the sandstone. At that point we had men coming back from the Napoleonic Wars, and there was a lot of poverty in the city. So he was doing his little bit. Instead of giving money to charity, he gave men an honest day's work for an honest day's pay.
Williamson soon had these men building great arches over his quarry. The arches became tunnels, and the tunnels grew into a veritable labyrinth of chambers, built for no purpose, and passageways that led nowhere.
When you come to the end of this tunnel, you open into a vast chamber. It's 7 metres wide by 7 metres long. That may have been the entrance into the network at some time. We haven't got all the spoil out at the moment. We think there's probably about 50 to 80 tonnes of earth still in there to come out. More recently, we've discovered some immense tunnels underneath the yard of 8 metre wide, huge tunnels about 100 metres long, with a network of small labyrinth tunnels coming off the side of it, up to 6 layers deep.
This eccentric burrowing activity led to Williamson being christened the Mad Mole. But to those locals, grateful for the employment, he was a saviour, not a sinister man. The only map of the labyrinth was a sketch by historian James Stonehouse, made shortly after Williamson died. Today this is all that's left of Joseph Williamson's house on Mason Street, where the network of tunnels continues. But in the 1890s, the construction of a railway cutting severed his tunnel labyrinth, creating 2 separate sites. The Mason Street site is not open to the public. Lesko is a volunteer and a guide for a group that have been excavating the Mason Street area for over 15 years. It is through them that a lucky few can take a glimpse into this otherwise inaccessible site. Just behind Williamson's house is a small opening in the ground. This narrow shaft is the only way in. One of the group's constant tasks is excavating the tunnels of Victorian rubbish.
And there's not particular peculiar to any of the cabins that are actually in the mall. Everything and everywhere within these cabins that we've found up to now are actually full of infill and spoil. You could call it Victorian fly tipping. Apparently the tunnels began to be filled up on the day Williamson died, we believe.
Williamson wasn't the only man building tunnels. In the 1830s, the famous engineer Robert Stephenson started construction of a railway through Edge Hill.
Stephenson had begun to dig a tunnel from Edge Hill station, and as his men were digging, Williamson said to his lads, let's show these how to build tunnels. We'll show them something. He says, what we'll do is we'll go in, go below them, and then come up apparently, and we give them the fright. And when they broke through, Stevenson's men were so alarmed that they ran for daylight as fast as they possibly could. The little jewel in the crown. This cavern also carries another mysterious entrance, the one through at the back of me at the moment. If we can get through into this, we can get through into the system proper and right into the caverns, the galleries, the tunnels and the crypts and the voids in Edge Hill, right under the Edge Hill itself. That's where we really want to be.
Nobody really knows the extent of the network. There could be up to 9 miles of tunnels. The modern-day moles of Edge Hill still have a lot of digging to do.